All right, thank you everyone for joining. This is the Black Friday game plan. We're going to talk about how to shop smart and protect your credit. Okay, so first, I'll tell you a little bit about me. My name is Sabrina Graham, also known as Mrs. Perfect Credit, and I help people go from good credit to excellent credit so they can leverage it to build wealth. I'm originally from Florida and I moved to Texas, which is where I reside now. I am married for over 20 years and I have one teenage daughter. I'm an author, a speaker, and a coach. All right, let's get into the Black Friday logistics and how to go about planning it. So first, um, now a lot of times there's early access when it comes to Black Friday. It's usually the day after Thanksgiving. But lately, over the last years, they've been having early access. So make sure you're looking for those access options. Make sure you confirm the start and end times. Make sure you look at the time zones that it's in as well. A lot of retailers now have like memberships and loyalty, and sometimes they are providing their members first look at things, first to be able to purchase items. So make sure you look at that where they're unlocking inventory early just for you. So if you're a member to something, check on that too because it might be early. I saw one retailer. They are unlocking this week. They're starting Black Friday this week. I'm like, wow. So just know that it can come earlier than normal. And then when it comes to price match, make sure you look at the holiday price match rules because it might be a little different for the holidays. It may exclude Black Friday, so you might be purchasing something that you think you might be able to do a price match, but you won't be able to do it because it may not apply to Black Friday. So you have to look that up. Make sure you're looking at the fine print. And then there is exclusions sometimes during Black Friday. So make sure you remove when you're reading the promos, the promotions, make sure you're looking at the time, the terms and conditions as well. Pay attention to shipping. If you're trying to get this for like a Christmas gift or like another kind of holiday gift, make sure you look at the ship by dates to make sure that it's going to come in time, especially if you're shipping to yourself and then you're going to ship out. Make sure you're giving yourself some extra time. And then returns, make sure you're confirming holiday return windows. Usually for holidays, they extend the returns, but just make sure you check for that. And then watch out for restocking fees because during the shopping, you're like buying all kind of things. And sometimes you're just buying extra things, but it can cost you in the long run if you have to return it if there's restocking fees. So make sure you're paying attention to small things like that. And my favorite, stacking. The reason why it's my favorite is because you can get a lot of cash back when you're shopping. So, for instance, your credit cards may have cash back if you're shopping at certain retailers, if you're shopping online. Make sure you look at what kind of cash back you can get or points. Sometimes they're doing bonus points during this time frame when it comes to shopping. So make sure you look at that. Sometimes they require you to activate a promotion. So make sure you look and see if you need to activate it because you can think you're getting the cash back at a higher percentage, but it said that you needed to activate it. So make sure you look at that. And then also sometimes banks, like I know in my app, if you scroll down a little bit, you will see different uh, companies and retailers that they're going to give you cash back. Sometimes 5% back, sometimes 10% back, sometimes dollar amounts, sometimes it's $20 back. So make sure that you check your bank app as well to see which retailers that they're offering cash back on, and your bank is going to put it right into your bank account. But make sure you may have to activate that as well, and then make sure you're looking at those terms and conditions. And then shopping sites. So sometimes shopping sites as well offer cash back. So when I say stacking, What I will do is look at the different shopping sites because some of those offer cash back, and then I match it with my credit card, which is offering cash back. So I'm pretty much getting double cash back. So that's what I call stacking, and that's my favorite part, seeing all that cash back coming up. But the key thing here is to be responsible. Don't get all this cash back and then you have to pay it all back in interest. Make sure you're able to um, pay your bill within the 30-day mark before you start getting interest. Or if you're on a 0%, make sure you pay before that time is up. All right, so um, that's the Black Friday logistics. All right, so before you shop, put together a game plan because you may decide to use credit cards or you may decide not to use credit cards. But if you're going to use credit cards, make sure you're smart about it. So first, know your credit score. You know, I'm always going to say, what's your credit score? So know your credit score and determine if you want to use your credit card, right? If you're good at paying it off every single month, then this will may not be a problem for you. But if you're not good at paying it every month, just know that if your balances are going up, that can impact your credit score. So if you're looking to get like a home or something major, you may not want to do anything that's going to impact your credit score. And also, knowing your credit score, you can make a decision if you're ready to go ahead and use the cards. Okay, next, make sure you know your card balances. The one thing you don't want to do is go over your spending limit, right? So make sure you check your card balances, and that's going to help you determine which credit card that you want to use. That's if you decide to use your credit cards. Know your current utilization rate. Um, Remember, industry says that you want to keep that rate under 30%, but I say keep it under 10%. And if you're really trying to get that perfect credit score, get it under 5%. So know what your current credit utilization rate is so that you can also make that determination if you want to use your cards and know your statement date so that you would know if you're trying to make sure you don't get interest, know your statement date as well. And I'm sorry, not interest, but if you're trying to make sure that your spending doesn't hit your credit, know your statement date. Usually, your creditors don't report your balances until your statement date. So that's why it's important to know when your statement date is to make sure you pay it off before that statement date arrives. And I'm going to give you an example. An example I have here, and this is what I was saying, like plan this out before you start shopping. So you have card A on the first line. Let's say the limit is $10,000 and you checked and there's a balance of 2,000. So your credit utilization is going to be 20%. And the credit utilization calculation is basically you're taking your balance divided by your limit and then multiplying by 100. So that's going to get you your credit utilization. So for in this example, the credit utilization is 20%. Okay, and the statement date is November 5th. So let's say if you decide to shop, and I'm just pulling up my phone here so I can look at the calendar. So let's say you're shopping on the last week of November, right? And your statement date is this November 5th, right? So your statement date has already passed. So that gives you a good amount of time. Um, and I apologize. No, it doesn't give you a good amount of time because if you're shopping the end of November, your next statement date is going to be about December 5th. So really, you only have about a week to pay that off. So you might say, I don't know if I'm going to use that card. Um, but let's look at card B. Card B have a limit of $1,000. You have a balance of 500. The credit utilization is 50%. Is that a good credit utilization? No. You said no, you're correct. It's best to keep it under 30%. That's what the industry says. And like I said, get it under 10% for excellent credit. But that statement date is November 28th, which means the next statement date is going to be December 28th. So let's say if you're shopping on November 28th, then it may not hit until the following week. And that gives you even more time to pay it off before it hits your credit report. But all in all, I wanted to point this out that although one card may be at a 20% utilization rate and another card may be at a 50% credit utilization rate, but all together, when you combine that, your credit utilization rate is 22.73%. Now, is that a good credit utilization according to the credit utilization? According to the industry? If you said yes, yes, it is. It's under that 30% as a whole. And again, when it comes to what I recommend to get excellent credit, get it under 10%, but this is good as well. All right. And what I think I'm going to do is put together a template for you and put it out there in the Mrs. Perfect Credit Club. And just put it out there and something that you'll be able to use, download, print it out, write it in. And I may do Excel so that I can put some calculation in there for you so you don't have to worry about trying to manually calculate it. But check in the club and I'll also post in the club when I upload that spreadsheet for you. All right, let's talk about promotions. So, can you spot a real deal and not a trap? Let's see, let's go through some items. So, let's say a promotion is 0% APR with a calendarized payoff. Do you think this is a real deal or do you think this is a trap? If you said real deal, yes, this is actually a good one. So let's say if you get a 0% APR and it's for 3 years, and then your payments is divided by those 3 years monthly, where it's already giving you a schedule that by the time the 3 years comes up, you're already paid off. So therefore, you don't have to worry about just making the minimum payments. And then at the end, all of a sudden you have this big balance and you're coming off that 0%. I like the calendarized payoff because it's spread out for you already, and then you're done when those 3 years is up, and then you don't have to worry about it coming up at the end, and then you have to pay all the interest. All right, next, store promotions that don't add new account. It's an offer on an existing card. So this can be like, for instance, like Home Depot, where they may say, you know what, for our card holders, we're gonna, if you use your card, you get 0% APR for 6 months. So is this a real deal or is this a trap? What do you think? This can go either way, but I'm gonna say this is a real deal. So first of all, you're not opening a new account, so that's not impacting your somebody running your credit, okay? And then it's not impacting your history. So this is a good thing from that perspective. And then it's giving you 6 months, 0% APR. So for the most part, it's a real deal. Where it comes in a trap is that if you don't pay it off in 6 months, then you'll be at that high interest rate. Or you have a bigger amount, right? And then you're paying more than what you expected to pay. But for the most part, I would go with a real deal on this one. All right, next, deferred interest. Do you think this is a real deal or do you think this is a trap? Okay. Yep. And so if you said a real deal, for the most part, yes, I would say this is a real deal, but it can be a trap. from a real deal perspective, it's deferred interest. So a lot of times you will go and they will give you like a deferred interest, meaning like there's no interest until like 2 years, right? And they have like furniture stores do this a lot, where you're getting furniture, they're going to defer the interest for 2 years, and if you buy the furniture now, right? However, the trap comes in is that again, it's most likely it's not calendarized. So you're just kind of making the payments however you want to make the payment, which in the long run could have you piling up debt, could also have you um, getting high interest rate at the end. All right, what about this one? New store card for a one-time discount. Is this a real deal or is this a trap? All right. If you said a trap, then yes, I would say that this is a trap. It could be a real deal but for the most part, I would say this one's a trap. So first of all, a new store card, guess what? Your credit, they're going to run your credit, which means that's going to impact your hard pull, and that can impact your score. Second thing that this is going to impact is your history. And when I say history, I'm not talking about your payment history. I'm talking about like your card history, how long you've had a card. So let's say the oldest card you have is 10 years. And so right now your average history with credit is 10 years. That's higher, which is a good thing. That helps your credit. However, when you open up this new card, now your average drops from 10 years to it may now be an average of 5 years because it's new credit, and that can impact your credit score. So those are some of the things that it can be a trap, right? And then the one-time discount, you have to read the fine print because the one-time discount, let's say you're buying something that's $100 and they're going to give you $20 off. Sounds great, right? You get your $20 off, you get your statement in the mail, and guess what? Your interest is at 25%. Whoa, right? So if you can't pay it off that month, that 25% over time, you end up paying more than what you spent for it. So it is no longer a deal for you. It's no longer that $20 off, becomes you didn't even get a discount and you may even end up paying more. So that's why I say this is a trap. And so a couple of things. Number one, be strategic, right? Set up auto pay to clear before the promotion ends. So if you set up auto pay, it's going to automatically make the payment. And let's say you went with deferred interest, right? Where it wasn't a calendarized payoff, but you can be strategic yourself. And let's say it's a $1,200 purchase. And so what you want to do is over 12 months, and it's a 0% for 12 months. So for 12 months, you take that $1,200, you divide it by 12, and so it's $100 a month. So you would set auto pay to pay $100 a month. Or if you want to finish in 11 months, just to make sure there's no chance of you paying interest on it, divide it by 11. And so then pay extra money each month in the auto pay. And it's kind of like set it and let it go. So be strategic when you're doing any of these really and set up auto pay. And then auto pay also make sure that you're not missing a payment. And missing a payment can cause your credit score to go down drastically. And you don't want that. And it stays on your credit report for years. You can bounce back, but it's just going to take longer for you to bounce back. Okay. All right, let's talk about fraud. So, fraud happens around the holidays. One of the things I see a lot is emails and texts. especially when it comes to shipping alerts. I've seen that a lot lately. So be careful. It'd be like um, your shipping has, your item has shipped. Click the link to track it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Now, I know I did not order anything. And so it's clearly a trap. Don't click the link. Be very careful. Know what you've purchased. Know how it's going to ship. And so just be very careful. It's better to just go back to that online retailer and go that route to see about your shipping. Okay. But make sure you turn on alerts. You can go into your app or online with like your bank, your credit cards. You can turn on different alerts of when purchases are made. You can turn on alert that say if anything's over $50, alert me. But during the holidays, I recommend you turn on your alerts for anything over $0 because a lot of time fraud happens. They'll do something, a small number like $1 or $5 thinking that you're not going to see that. They'll do a few of those and then boom, they do a big thing. And by that then they've did a lot of spending already. And so if you have it at starting off anything over $0, you'll get that alert right away and then you can stop that fraud before it continues. Um, there's also some cards allow virtual numbers and check with your creditor if they allow virtual numbers, go with that. Starting off anything over $0, you'll get that alert right away and then you can stop that fraud before it continues. There's also some cards allow virtual numbers and check with your creditor if they allow virtual numbers, go with that. All right, so make sure you verify the merchant name on statements. There is a possibility that you could be experiencing fraud and you have all these other merchants and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't shop there. So make sure you're checking your statements. It's the correct merchant name. Keep your receipts. There's a possibility that you could be double charged, so you need to dispute it. It could be the incorrect amount, so you need to dispute it. And of course, you may need to take something back, but keep your receipts mainly not just to take it back, but from a fraud perspective. And then we've already talked about emails and text. So just be aware that be careful of clicking on links in emails and in text. Again, I recommend going into if you were like shopping online, go online and go directly there to look at like your shipping alerts and your tracking there. All right, so we're coming to the end. Let's talk about your action plan. So, number one, create your utilization plan. We went through those two examples of card A and card B and how to calculate your credit utilization. Make sure you turn on your card and bank alerts, your credit card and bank alerts. Like I said, you can do a minimum amount or do anything over $0 just so that you can get those alerts. And then after the holidays, if you want to take it back to a different, like $50 or $100, you can do that. I'm just recommending during the holidays. Therefore, you'll know fraud right away. Next, check dates and times with merchants. Make sure you're not missing a sale, right? You can get early access to things. So start checking now because some of them are giving you early access. And again, if you're a member, make sure you're checking that too. You may get an additional early access. Add calendar reminders, the dates and the times of the merchants, especially if you're shopping online. Add calendar reminders to remind you that, hey, this is happening tomorrow. So you can start looking in advance. Hey, this is happening in 1 hour. Okay, because some of those things, it goes so fast. If you blink, it's gone. So make sure that you're setting your calendar reminders. And then if you're already in the Mrs. Perfect Credit school in the club, make sure you post your 30-day goal in the club. I'll do one for Black Friday. posts. So make sure you find the Black Friday post and let me know. What are you doing? Are you going to use your credit cards, or you decided you're not going to use your credit cards, or how you're going to be strategic with using your credit cards? Okay. And then if you're not in the club, what are you waiting for? Get in the club. You can get in for free. And there's the QR code. I have the link there as well. Make sure you join the club. And then if you're ready to go deeper, if you're already in the club or you're joined the club and you want to go deeper and you want some one-on-one with me, or if you want monthly group accountability. So you're in the club, you get the limited courses, workshops, and events. I'll do a lot of free things out there. I will have different threads in the club. I'll do giveaways. But if you want a little more, the premium way is to go. It's only $25 a month. Or if you pay the year, it's only $199 for the year. Great value when you do the year. Everything is free, so you're not limited to the free courses and the free workshops and stuff like that. You will be part of the monthly group accountability call. We'll get on a call on a monthly basis as a group, and we'll talk about your goals. We'll see where you're at, give you an opportunity to ask questions that I can answer for you. And then we do more things. Sometimes I'll bring in a guest speaker as well. And then if you really need more and you want that one-on-one with me so I can really look at your credit to help you find those spots where you can increase your score, especially if you're trying to hit that perfect credit score. I'm pretty good at looking at what can help you, and then I can help you hit that perfect credit score or at least get you over 800. Whatever your goal is, I'll help you with that goal. But that's only $99 a month, or a bigger value if you just pay up front $850 and it's for the whole year. You get everything in premium. You also, on a monthly basis, you can schedule a one-on-one clarity call with me. And then you'll get priority for Q&A. So if you join the monthly group accountability call, you'll get that priority of Q&A. Like if we run out of time or something like that, your questions are always answered first. And then free upgrade to VIP during workshops and replays. So sometimes I have workshops and VIP get certain things. Well, if you're already a VIP in a club, you'll just automatically get upgraded to this. And then you'll get the replays too. A lot of times when I do certain workshops, the replays are only for VIP. So you'll automatically get those replays without having to upgrade to like a VIP. So it's a great value if you're really trying to go deeper and you have some big goals. I can help you achieve those. I would like to thank you for watching. I hope you learn a lot. Don't forget to go out in the club and post something about Black Friday, what you're doing and how you're being strategic with it. And my goal is to help you to have credit work for you and not you working for your credit. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. See you in the club.